On today's episode of Detour, I'm talking about what I'm actually doing. The sky is falling as far as everyone's concerned. Uh, we're effectively in a recession. Stock market's plummeting. I have so many close friends trimming jobs, shutting down. How do you react to that? And that's what we want to talk about today. And in fact, I actually recently launched back my vlog on YouTube. And the whole premise was really just to share with people what I actually do at work. And it actually couldn't be any more timely because the first episode was me talking about what the 5-4 group is. The second episode is how we are dealing with the coronavirus in our company and literally showing kind of actionable things we're doing with our business. And it's also going to highlight a big win we had during that turbulent week with our shoe brand, Alice Gray. So check it out. Just search my name, D. Murthy. You'll find it. And love some feedback on that as well. Anyways, everybody stay safe, stay positive. Yes, things are tough and they are going to get tougher, but history has shown we are resilient people and we will get through this. So today we're going to talk about how the world has changed. The last episode or two, we've been talking about the impact that the coronavirus is having on our businesses, on our daily lives. And the last few days have made everything seem a little too real. And so I wanted to share some kind of stories of what I'm hearing from entrepreneurs. I also want to talk about some of the things I've been doing. So in the last, call it 72 hours, I know 2 businesses that completely shut. I know one that laid off 400 employees, a close friend, and I know another that just filed for bankruptcy. This all happened in a matter of 7 days. And as quickly and as hard as we work to build these businesses, they go as quickly as they come, and sometimes even quicker. And this is why last August, I actually did a podcast you guys should check out about how to prepare for a recession. And we effectively are in a recession. And it's important that we learn how to handle this situation. One of the first things you can't do is be emotional. Emotional decisions are not necessarily all the time incorrect, but they aren't totally rational. And you really need to take a step back and find ways to handle this situation with as much calm and really balanced approach, because it's really easy to get yourself in a bad situation or even hurt your business for the future. Look, the reality is, up until 3 weeks ago, the economy was the strongest it's been in a very long time. We had a healthy consumer, low unemployment. Generally speaking, the consumer confidence was pretty high. And the virus hit and derailed everything. So the good news is there aren't structural problems in the economy that are going to be very, very difficult to overcome. Like, we thought banks were going to be insolvent in 2008. Today, we're not concerned about that. We know that there's going to be a domino effect when the service industry, effectively, call it all of hospitality, is telling people they have no more jobs. That is going to have a direct impact on consumption and consumer confidence. We know companies are going to have to lay people off. We know businesses are going to cut spending, and that's going to have an impact on all of our jobs, impact on our businesses, impact on the way we act on a daily basis. But it will pass. And what today is about is really about surviving, staying measured, and then finding that opportunity. And I'll give you what I've been thinking about the last 3 days. So I, for the most part, slept okay Friday. I think I was just exhausted from the week and everything I had done. We obviously stayed home all weekend, did a little bit of exercise, and then Saturday I really started thinking about the business. Don't sleep too well. Sunday, as for me, Sundays are essentially Mondays. I'm already thinking every Sunday about the week ahead. And I didn't really sleep Sunday night. I was very anxious to wake up Monday and just get to work. And really, the conversations I started having Sunday with my team were, okay, look, world's changed. What are we going to do about it? Where are our pain points? And for a business like ours, sales are obviously down. Um, that means cash will be low. That means we can't cover expenses, vendors, the domino effect starts. So we're like, okay, how do we prevent from entering that situation? And by the way, I could do all the right things and I still may end up in the same exact situation I don't want to be in. My first kind of call was really to my senior team and saying, look, we have to be aggressive. We have to act quickly and we can't be emotionally attached to any decision. Like if we were planning to do something and it doesn't fit in within our goals today, then we have to be comfortable with moving on. Because often in times like this, we get very emotionally attached to certain projects, ideas, businesses, concepts that just don't make sense anymore. That doesn't mean you can't revisit it in the future, but you got to be realistic. And if it doesn't have a purpose in the next 90 days, then maybe it has to be put on hold. And so you got to separate your ego and really do what's best for the business. And that's what I started thinking about. I'm like, what can I do, one, to stop the pain? So we got aggressive. We started thinking about what sales can we launch for our subscription business? What sales can we launch for our shoe business? And what inventory are we sitting on that's excessive? Are we afraid of having this inventory? Is this good inventory to have? We really started thinking about our customer. Our customer is going to be bargain hunting. I thought about myself. I'm not making any purchases right now, but if a good deal came by, I think I'll take advantage of it. And I use the example, since I'm having another baby, I use the example of Restoration Hardware, a furniture store I enjoy, and my wife and I enjoy. And we were like, okay, if it all of a sudden was 25% off, maybe we would purchase some of that stuff. So we started thinking about the customer. We started thinking about what would make someone feel comfortable making a purchase. We obviously have a business to run, but maybe we can offer some value to our customer that makes them want to shop with us. So that's really our first kind of line of defense. The next line of defense was looking at our cost structure. So things like warehouse, things like rent for our office, staff. And the first thought I had in my mind before I go down the ugly steps of, oh, I got to reduce staff, I got to reduce expenses, was let me go to everyone we pay monthly. So we'll call it our landlords, call it potentially vendors, and say, what can you do for me? Can I pay you half now and the remainder amortize it over the next 3 months? And so what that means is, let's keep for simple sake, if my rent is $1,000 and I ask for 50% off, $500, I'm like, can I pay you $500 over May, June, and July? So the pain of the getting a reduction on rent isn't so aggressive in future months. So I'm having those conversations, seeing where we can kind of negotiate there. Some people may say yes, some people say no, but we have to ask at least. There'll be other vendors that we know we can't live without. We know that if we don't pay them, we run the risk of hurting their business. So we will continue to pay those people. Those are kind of mission critical folks that we know we have to keep paying because and maybe we're late, but we're still making those payments. And then, it's really about having conversations with every single vendor, every single person we owe money to, every single person that owes us money, and trying to over communicate and be like, okay, what's your situation? Because, no one wants to be blindsided in a situation like this, because if you're relying on something and all of a sudden they tell you, hey, sorry, shit hit the fan, I can't help you, that obviously sucks. And so we're trying to be mindful of that on both sides of it, the sides where we owe money, and then obviously the sides where money is owed to us. So that's like those are conversations that are active that I'm currently having. The other is really thinking about the future. So this will pass. What does the future look like when this passes? I'm thinking about my business. My business is 90% online. Actually, all of the 5-4 group, I think almost it's like 95% online. What does the customer do? Call it in September. The virus subsides, people change their behavior. Do they continue to shop in stores? Do they continue to go to malls, outdoor shopping centers? Has our life changed forever? So I start thinking about things like that. And, there will be a time where everyone goes back to the way they were, but there will be a portion of the population that will treat things differently. And so that could actually be an opportunity. Maybe that's where we need to focus our energy. What's a messaging we can do to win over more customers today? Maybe not have them transact with us, but stay top of mind. Then I start thinking about, what are the marketing opportunities? I start thinking about, I see lower cost per click and CPMs, cost per impression, on Facebook, on Google. Conversion rates are obviously down, but shit, maybe it's worth spending a couple extra bucks just to stay in front of people and really messaging that, hey, we're out here doing business. We're working hard to kind of continue to serve the customer. This may not be the right time now, but let's go fill up that top of the funnel. And when the time is right, we're going to be here to take advantage of it. Influencer marketing. Here's an opportunity. Influencer marketing is effectively dead. So the brands that have kind of supported this whole ecosystem globally have clearly cut their spend. Travel is a big part of that. Live events are a big part of that. So that market has effectively probably been shut off in the matter of 7 days. Maybe that's another opportunity. Should we be aggressively reaching out to influencers to see, hey, we know your business is a little slow right now. Can you work with us on a different price? Because we're still doing business. We'd love to work with you. You may be able to trade up when it comes to people like personalities and influencers that normally wouldn't take your phone call. People are going to get desperate really, really quickly. And I'm not giving this advice for you to be a vulture and take advantage, but there are opportunities to really capture when things are struggling, because if you play it right, this is truly a shock in the economy. And that means as quickly as all this stuff kind of happens, when it passes, things hopefully will get back to normal. At least that's how I'm operating. I'm operating that this is a blip, as a very ugly one. It's going to continue to get even uglier, but there is a silver lining a few months out. And my silver lining example is China. They are back to work. People are back to shopping. The stores are open. Apple stores open in China. Nike stores open in China. Apple stores are closed everywhere in the world except China. So I just tell you, things do get back to normal, but it's going to get ugly. And I just don't want to completely stop and freeze when things are this ugly. Instead, I really want to, I'm thinking a lot. Like, I'm mentally exhausted. I mean, I'm physically exhausted just because of, just being anxious and really working hard. But I'm mentally exhausted because I'm really thinking about every angle, because out of the last recession, we built a monster business. We built a incredible business with Young and Reckless, and we built a monster subscription business that birthed the 5-4 group. So I'm as cautious as I am on certain things. I'm salivating because I know there's opportunities here. So I need to remain measured, and I'm going to make hard decisions. Things are going to get ugly. I'm going to have very painful days up ahead. but I'm confident that we'll make the right decisions and really talk through these things with people. Like, I'm fortunate I have great business partners that I trust, that I can sensibly talk through these things, and you should find those people too. A lot of people lean on me for these types of conversations, strangers, just to get a sense of how I'm thinking about things. So find that person in your life that can really be helpful to you. It's a therapist, essentially. It's like an entrepreneur therapist. If you want to, you can also reach out to me. If I'm able to get back to you in a timely manner, I'm happy to be helpful. But be cautious, but be aggressive. It's a weird kind of combination, but there's a happy medium there. So good luck.